Hi, Michael. Michael, Tom Ince, a player of real caliber, a player of real potential in his day. Four appearances so far for Tom, one goal. Last two games he came off the bench. Do you feel that Tom Ince, there's more in him for Stoke City? Is he a player that should be producing more for you, given his technical ability?
He suffers a bit because of the system we've played. We've been, Tom's predominantly a wide player, so he played most of his career as a left-footed player playing wide right. More often than not in a 4-3-3. We've played with a back three this season, which means we played with wing backs. So when Tom has played, he's played pretty much as a wing back, which is not his natural position, but I think he's adapted to it quite well. He's got competition to play there, and he's in the last year of his contract, so he's obviously pushing to make an impression. And as I say, I'm pleased with what he does on a daily basis. It's just his opportunities to play have been limited this season.
And Michael, just in terms of your strikers there, I was just looking there for possibly your three main strikers: Jacob Brown, Stephen Fletcher, Sam Sturridge. So far, 20 games in, roughly 10 goals from the three of them combined. Are you happy with that sort of return? Were you expecting more? 5 from Jacob Brown, 3 from Stephen Fletcher, and then 2 from Sam Sturridge. Would you expect maybe more at this stage of the season?
Well, we'd certainly have hoped for more. I think Fulham have a 20-goal striker, so there's an indication of what you're talking about. But look, we've played with 2 strikers consistently this season. I think we've created a lot of chances. Stevens had injuries which held him back a little bit. But there is an onus on the strikers to obviously increase their goal tally. We see Tyrese coming back now as well, which I think will strengthen us in that department. Seaman's coming back. He's a little bit of an unknown quantity to us, but we haven't seen a lot of him because he picked up an injury and not long after arriving at the club as well. But yeah, I think, look, if you're gonna really challenge to get out of this league, you need goals, and that's an area of our team where we're always looking to improve, and we need to improve in that in the second half of the season.
And Michael, just on to QPR at the moment, the gap is 4 points. Is this game really pivotal in terms of if you win, the gap goes down to a point, but if you lose, the gap stretches to 7? And at this stage of the season, our team's beginning to sort of break away from the pack. So is this a real key game not to lose, really, in terms of keeping touch with Queen's Park Rangers?
Well, I don't think we're measuring ourselves just against Queen's Park Rangers. We're measuring ourselves against the teams in the top 6 in the league, and we've been in the top 6 for pretty much all season. So QPR have got themselves into that now with a nice little run of form. But there's 26 games to go, and teams drop points in this league all the time. So we're playing a team who are on a good run of form, and we've got to get ourselves back to winning games, and we don't really see it as anything more than that.
And Michael, you mentioned Queen's Park Rangers are on a good run of form, but in terms of Ilias Chair, is he the real key component behind those sort of front two in terms of that creativity? And in terms of your game plan, is he a special player that you have to, on the week coming up to match, give Sparta special attention to in terms of man marking and how you deploy yourself defensively to cope with him getting into those pockets?
No, he's a very good player. He's a young player that's obviously taking his opportunity with Izzy moving on to the Premier League and to Crystal Palace. So that's provided him with the opportunity, and he's allowed QPR to be consistent in terms of how they've set their team up and how they play. And we have to look, when you play any opposition, you have to try and stop their good players. There's no secret to that. And sometimes you can do that because you deprive them of the ball. Other times you can man mark them. But our focus predominantly is always on ourselves, and we've tried to be consistent with that. That isn't being disrespectful to the opposition, but we believe that we're capable, if we play to the levels that we can go and win the game. QPR will pose an attacking threat. There's no doubt about that, and we have to make sure defensively we're strong and we can deal with that.
And finally, for me, Michael, what do you make of the job of Mark Warburton has done in Queen's Park Rangers in terms of the steady progression of that football club over the past few years with him in charge?
Well, look, he's done a very good job. Chris, you know, they're in a nice position at the minute. He's a very experienced manager in the Championship. So, yeah, he's done a good job. But my focus is on my team, my club, more than anything else.